Fresh off a bye, we're back, baby. Pod's brought to you by you-know-who. Pella Windows and Doors. New set of windows, new door. Can totally just change everything, man. The look, the feeling, the vibe of your home can add value to your home. It can make your home more energy efficient. All those things. Pella checks all those boxes and then some. Pella can provide window and door solutions to any home. Working with the people at Pella, fantastic. Check them out. Showrooms, Omaha, Lincoln, and online, PellaOmaha.com. That's Bo Ruud. I'm Nicholas Allen Bahe. We're taping this. It is November 18th, Tuesday. 2 games left. Penn State this weekend, then Iowa on Black Friday. Did you enjoy your bye? Are you ready? Are you recharged and ready to finish strong here?
Yeah, it feels like it was a long time since that last game.
UCLA game feels a long time ago.
And there was almost it felt like no news in the week and a half that we've been
You're
off.
right. Nebraska's trying to make a Heisman campaign for Emmett that I get. I mean, I feel like he's just not in that conversation. I think he's having a great year. I think he's like a first team all Big Ten back and like and we're going to talk about Emmett with him, but like nothing. You know, what's funny you say that, and we'll get to the club here in a second. This was the period on the calendar when Franklin got fired and ruled the Penn State stuff heated up. I thought to myself, like, dog, I think everybody did, like, how crazy is the 2 weeks leading up to Nebraska at Penn State going to be? If Ruud was still kind of a candidate.
Think of the uncertainty in the air, especially if we had been winning the whole time.
Right.
Oh, man.
So it's just like what could have been in terms of like the chaos of this.
It could have been the most hyped week or two in the last decade. If we would have basically, if we would beat USC in Minnesota, and we were, what, 9-1?
Yeah.
Been 9-1 going into this game. He would have clearly probably been the lead candidate.
It still is like, who the heck is going to be the coach at Penn State? That's why, like, I don't want to conjure up, like, nothing is over until it's over.
I don't know if they had anything special in his new extension. Like, hey, if you go to Penn State, it costs them this much more. Like, unless there's some huge, like, I was wondering about that. Did they have some huge penalty?
There's more.
I would have put something. I didn't actually get to see it, but like, I would assume you'd want to put some sort of like special, like, if you go to Penn State after we just re-signed you right now, like
there is more. Ruud owe more, but there's also, it's really the contract from Nebraska's perspective makes sense from the standpoint of like, you lock up a guy in a period where like every job is open. You don't want to be trying to search for a coach now. All of his base salary is pretty much the same. He's got bonus structures built in if he goes to the playoff.
Yeah.
You know, like he gets $1 million if they go to, like, those things are all like, you'd gladly write that check if you're Nebraska.
For sure.
So I don't know.
I was in my head, I was thinking like, God, if I'm doing this just to like try to keep him from going to Penn State, I'd make sure that like get it through the year. Right. So that like he can't go to Penn State the year we give him this.
I just wonder, I don't know. I just wonder with like all these jobs open, if Nebraska, let's say they win these last 2 games and they go 9-3.
Yeah.
Like that's, or I guess 9-3. That's a, like, all of a sudden rules maybe a little hotter at that time. I don't know. I don't want to conjure up anything. But
I think he has, to me, I feel like the Penn State job is the job that I'm worried about with him because he's an East Coast guy. I really think that's the part of it. I believe in a weird way that he does. It's pretty genuine that he likes it here.
Yes. I don't think he's just saying that.
I think he got his taste of the big time in the NFL, and that's the difference maker. If he had never gone
to Carolina,
if this is from Baylor to Nebraska, I just think there's then like, he's still got the itch of the big time, right? Every coach gets that until they've had it.
Right.
And only after they've had it, do you find out what do they really want? And some coaches still need it. I feel like Ruud in his own mind said, I just want to find the next place I'm happy at. And I think this could be it.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I also think like he got to experience what it's like to fail and how miserable that can be.
Yeah.
I think he also thinks, I think the guy that he took over for, Scott Frost, was former player, came home. I think he's been able to see, like, yikes,
that goes
man.
bad.
If it goes bad, it goes real bad.
Yeah.
That's a cautionary tale. So, I mean, I think ultimately he signed an extension. It doesn't seem like there's anything there. But I also know that, like, things can change quickly. It's just interesting when I think about what this week could have been and how we start this pod being like, man, uneventful week here. Like, I thought it was going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
In its chaotic nature with it. But okay, club. And then I wrote down like 5 or 6 questions for you that I'm excited to throw at you here.
Okay, give me a recap. Where were we? It's been so long.
My notes on the club were terrible here. This is the club heading into the UCLA game. Emmett Johnson. Dylan's not involved because Dylan's hurt.
Correct.
Emmett Johnson, Key, Wright, Marshall for the job they did on USC's pass game.
Yep.
Lindenmeyer, in large part because he brought the Scarlet Dance team with him. I have to assume that was a huge part of why we put him in there.
That was.
Gourmet Grill, Hunter, Singleton, Barney, Kenneth Williams.
Yep.
I wasn't sure what we were doing with Winery. I wrote that Winery and McCullough, question mark. I wasn't sure.
We had them at that was the only thing I had written down was we had picked them up from Duncan's Toy Chest and they were coming back from Duncan's Toy Chest.
Okay.
So that they're in a limo headed towards the club.
Like it.
Parked outside. I think we may have put someone, maybe we put in
Donovan Jones and Javin Wright. Or is there anybody else?
I think maybe no. So we had Luke and the Scarlets with Winery and Desan waiting outside the club in a limo.
Okay.
I believe
my notes were terrible.
No. So we had Dylan, Emmett, Barney, Hunter. I think did we have Eckler?
I think you're off a week.
I think I am off a week.
I think you're off a week. I think.
So you're telling me Wright and Sierra? So Sierra Wright and
Andrew Marshall
both were in the club.
That's what I thought.
Well, I was gonna say, okay.
Well, let's just.
We don't know where we are. It's been so long.
In some ways, it's nice to just blow up the situation and start from scratch here.
Okay, let's do it. Let's start
because
from scratch.
I had a really hard time with this. Obviously, there's a two obvious ones. Club this week after UCLA game. Emmett Johnson, TJ Lateef.
Absolutely. Lateef is the new star. We want him in the club.
He's having Shirley Temples. We're a responsible
We
club.
got him in, though. Chad Oakes gets him in.
We're responsible people.
Yeah.
He's in. Now, this is where, after that, I struggled. Couple of names I wrote down. Well, first of all, let me shift to this. We did have, if for the offensive line, if TJ Lateef stays alive and win, they get wings and beer.
Give them their beer.
So
give them their wings.
The O-line is just crushing a mountain of wings, and they are slamming pitchers of beer.
Yeah. So the good thing is they had a full week to digest all the wings and all the beer
and recover from it and sweat it out.
Yeah, we're not going to affect our performance because we had a bye week.
It was a bye week.
Yeah, but they drank a lot of beer and ate, I think, thousands of wings.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. Okay. So I wanted to start with that. EJ Lateef. Barney had a touchdown.
Okay, I actually had a thought coming into this. I was a week off, so Marshall and Wright had somehow already snuck into the club without.
So you want? I mean, I'm fine with it.
So I actually had a thought. My thought was this: of all the things Nebraska has done this year, besides maybe Emmett, the most impressive thing is right now we are third in the nation as a pass defense.
Correct.
So in a weird way to me,
we've been disrespecting those dudes.
We've been disrespecting. So my thought almost is we got Emmett, we got Lateef. Do we give Sierra, method actor,
yes,
extraordinaire,
yes,
Sierra Wright, Andrew Marshall,
and you want to give Singleton some love?
And Singleton. We bring 3 defenders from the secondary in the club where they deserve the number 3 pass defense in the whole country.
I think I like it.
And we let the chips fall where they may after that for the people outside the club.
I like it because Hunter, Barney, I don't know if either of them did enough.
And none of them have separated clearly. I mean, Hunter was,
yeah,
and then he's been quiet. So nobody's just dominated like an Emmett has just flat. Like Emmett's the mainstay because he's dominated. If you don't dominate, the club fluctuates.
Yes. And I love it because I do think all year we've been a little disrespectful to those secondary guys.
And it's funny that the listeners to the pod are sometimes like our guiding light of like, they throw things back at us. Like, what about Sierra Wright?
Right.
You guys never put him. And we're like, you're right. You're right.
We're getting a little, it's easy to get seduced by, well, in our defense, like Sierra Wright for the longest time still, like Sierra Wright is going to have the best season of never making a single play.
Yeah.
And that's in large part because he's doing such a good job that people don't even really throw at him, you know?
They're like I said, they're consistent. Like it's like, oh, these stats are great, but you got to show me throughout the season. Like we're 10 games in. Like
right.
We know now if you're the number 3 pass defense in the country,
it's real.
It's real after 10 games.
Yes.
And so that's the part where seeing that this morning, I was like, okay, like I like it. We have disrespected them long enough.
Especially because it clears up. I mean, I wrote down Hunter, Barney, Holgerson because of the job he did in kind of creating a game plan. I wrote in your boy Winery because he had 1 sack in a TFL. But
I think those guys are all fine. They're doing well, but they are not club worthy.
I'm with you
to this point. And I think we can put them all in that limo.
Okay.
All waiting outside. Lindenmeyer's got the Scarlets in there. It's a good time.
Okay. Limo.
But you're not in the club yet.
Winery, Lindenmeyer with the girls. Lindenmeyer.
Put the receivers in there.
He cracked the code on the club.
Hey.
He proposed after like the first home game, and we were like,
I think, do people want to learn from Lindenmeyer? Like,
that's it.
You know, bird in the hand.
That's right.
It's a bird in the hand.
Key, Barney, Hunter, Winery, Lindenmeyer. Is there anybody else? Kenneth Williams?
Sure. Yeah, give him some love. Give him some love for
maybe he'll house one this weekend. Okay. Yeah. I like it. Club. Lateef, Wright, Marshall, Singleton. O-line, unlimited wings and beers on us. I've never been happier I've never been happier to pay that tab in my life.
I agree.
Okay. In a limo, Winery, Lindenmeyer, Key, Barney, Hunter, and Kenneth Williams, and
all the Scarlets.
Scarlets. So good.
I love it.
Thank you for. I'm sure I sat down last night and this morning and kept like I couldn't after Emmett Johnson and Lateef.
I mean that's part of the problem with our team. Maybe is that like there's not clearly multiple mainstay stars yet. Like it seems like Hunter was good this week.
Barney had like a 2-week stretch where he was outstanding, and then Barney has disappeared for a little while, but then Barney has a touchdown. Yeah, you're right.
And nobody on defense has just been like stand out. Like
no, agree. I like it. Thanks for coming in and saving the club there. Okay, I got a bunch of questions I want to throw at you real quick. First question. One of the things that has dominated the conversation over the course of the bye week. Dylan Raiola versus TJ Lateef. Does that quarterback storyline exist regardless in the offseason? Or how much do these last 2 games and a bowl game impact it?
If Lateef doesn't play very well in these next 2 games, there's no storyline in my mind.
Okay.
Like he's got to really play.
That's what I'm well. That's I thought like, because sometimes you do, it's easy right now in the moment to be like totally a controversy. I'm like, if Lateef goes and throws 3 interceptions on Saturday and loses and then doesn't play well and loses to Iowa, I don't know if there's going to be people that are going to be like clamoring for Lateef to take over full time at that point. But I also wonder if like the other thing I wrote down is maybe this isn't even really about Lateef and it's about wanting the offense to progress past Dylan Raiola and what the 22 games as a starter has looked like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe this isn't necessarily even about Lateef versus Dylan. It's about Dylan versus the offense needing to improve. Does that make sense? I know that's because I do think there's some validity to that because the reality is 22 games as a starter is not a small sample size.
Yeah.
And Most of the time, overall, let's be real, overall, has the offense performed at a good enough level over the course of the 22 games that Dylan Raiola has been the starter?
Not consistent enough.
It has not.
It goes in these like, it's very spurty.
Yes.
And we go dead for quarters at a time.
Yes.
Maybe even halves at a time.
Yes.
But like, it still feels like, is this as much of an offensive line problem as it is
the thing right now, if we were in a court of law and I was defending, the Husker Nation, the Husker Nation versus Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
I would say a couple of things. Keep in mind, for 9 games, right? 9 games, he did not have Dana Holgorsen as the offensive coordinator. He had Marcus. he had Marcus Satterfield as the offensive coordinator. So for almost half of the games he started, he had Marcus Satterfield as an offensive coordinator.
That's correct.
Okay. The other thing you have to think about is the offensive line.
Yeah.
The tackles in particular have not held up very well. So I don't know how much is those two things really impacted the overall complexion and look of the offense, and how much is it Dylan holding on to the ball too much? He's not very mobile. He hasn't thrown the ball, really taken shots down the field, all those kinds of things. And so I don't know. I mean,
probably how do you weight it, right? So in the two questions is the lack of consistency. There's two groups really out there right now. And there's a group who weights it probably like I do, which is, I think it's more O-line and a little bit of maybe a little bit more like explosiveness from the ancillary parts more than Dylan. I would say there's maybe an equal faction out there that says it's Dylan's, they weight it, Dylan's immobility is more of a factor than the O-line and the other pieces. And something along those lines is, I think, where the fan base is a little split. And so I still am weighing, right? I think if the O-line was solid and we have maybe one more piece at receiver, somebody a little, one more explosive piece, I feel like a lot of the problems would get solved. But I think other people say it doesn't matter. Like, if you're guy in the college game, you need to be able to run. The running quarterback, cleans up mistakes, which is true.
Yes.
But like, how do you weight it? I think there's two groups that don't know how to weigh it the same right now.
I think that's a good way to frame it. And I think to a certain extent, that's the beauty of these last 2 games, is we will be able to kind of see it maybe a little bit like, may just having a guy back there that can run a little bit, does that unlock things offensively?
Nick, yeah, go ahead.
So I think there's that. I also think sometimes I wonder if we are all a little bit like, I was certainly guilty of this, as were you. I think when you believe in something so much on the front end, you see it through maybe a tick too long. What I mean is, we all thought Frost was going to be the savior of the program. There were a lot of people that were out on Frost earlier than maybe you and I were, when they were like, guys, come on, like, it's obvious, like, just watch the games. He's not the guy. Where I think you and I were willing to, like, the band and the Titanic, willing to, like, play that thing until that thing completely sinks.
Yeah.
You could make a case there's a similar school of thought going on with Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying I believe this. I'm just presenting it. Where he arrived as he was kind of the quarterback version of Scott Frost as head coach. He was supposed to come in and be the one that saves and rescues the program.
Yeah.
Well, here we are 22 games in. It doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
But we had it in our mind that he was the hero.
Yeah.
So when that's the case, you kind of like keep it in you're willing to like see, like, oh, just give it one more, give it a couple more games, give it one more year. And I also think there's another thing where in college there's this weird thing where, like, Dylan might be better if he played at Ohio State than Lateef would be, but Lateef is better at Nebraska than Dylan would be. Meaning, like, sometimes if you have a guy like Dylan, probably is pretty good if he has, like, when you're a statue quarterback, you better be elite in all these other areas.
That's right.
Nebraska clearly isn't elite in all those other areas, so you need Lateef's skill set to make up for that gap. But could Lateef play for Ohio State and sit in the pocket and be as accurate as Dylan? I don't know. So there's also that element of it too.
That's what's hard. I think it's hard because, yeah, you have to project these like people in different situations versus just like, what do you see in their situation, you know? And so I don't know. I still think, like, you know, Dylan's ability to process the game and, you know, makes throws and arm angles and touch is really at a high level. He does that, you know, especially for a second year college player.
Agree.
But it's just weird. It's weird to see, you know, it's just weird to see him, like, his mobility is less than we thought.
Way less.
And I think that's that part of it. Maybe we weren't expecting to be such a factor, maybe. So I don't know. I haven't made up my mind on anything.
I haven't either.
And these couple games will actually, I think, help because Nick, if Lateef plays really well against Penn State and Iowa and beats both of those teams, I would say we have a lot to think about.
Oh God!
If he doesn't play well, we don't have much to think about. We're riding with Dylan, but it's a real conversation. We're gonna learn about Lateef and mobile quarterbacks and this offense together. We're gonna learn.
I agree. If Lateef plays well and they go 2-0, there's a major storyline.
It's a major
storyline.
Good for Nebraska either way. I mean, it's good for Nebraska if he plays well and wins those games because it's the best quarterback controversy we could ask for. You know, normally you get it where it's like it's not usually based around. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I think it would be a good thing. So I'm happy to see it happen. Actually,
one thing, and then we'll move on to the next question. The biggest feather in Dylan Raiola's cap, I think, is what he's done in the clutch spots this year.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the thing that, because you haven't seen it in forever. Like, that's the little thing that is keeping me from really wanting to turn the page on him.
Great point. You know why? Because he's been clutch all year, and I don't think there's any sign of him not becoming more clutch as time goes by. He's been the best. His best moments are in the clutch.
Yes, he's 100%.
It's a quality that I like. I don't know if it's maybe what I like most about a player is kind of that.
Mm-hmm. How good are you in the biggest moments when it
matters the most? Yeah,
Michigan State, Maryland, Northwestern, all came up big on late fourth quarter drives. And so that also almost muddies the clarity of it. She's like, God, he's been a little inconsistent, but man, has he been good in those spots.
So this is, you want to say, like, you're making your you're defending Dylan objection. Like,
yes,
I'd like to discuss the proposition of clutchness or something, right? So being clutch is the difference the higher you go up in competition too. So like in the NFL, it's everything. I mean, the reason why Mahomes is Mahomes and every other guy with a strong arm is not Mahomes is because Mahomes is so clutch. It's insane.
Yes.
Right? So I don't care how good Lateef is. Until he can show that he can be clutch, he's a guy that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we want to go to the college football playoff, you take the clutch guy over the mobile guy.
I agree.
If you're mobile and clutch, double bonus.
Sure,
right?
but you're right. I think the biggest thing he has going for him is the way he performed in big moments in those 3 games.
Yeah, and that's where I think with the conversation right now, we never want to exclude the clutchness from Dylan because we say, he's a statue and he's mobile. It's like, that's not fair because Dylan right now is showing that he's super clutch too. Like he's winning us games with these, like, he gets away and he's making hard throws and big moments. Like that should be the lead analysis of Dylan. Right.
I agree. So the good news is like, it's not going to sort itself out completely, but we're going to find out a lot over the course of these last 2 games. We're going to
find out if we have a quarterback controversy.
Yes.
Not that Lateef is the guy. Lateef's not going to be the guy no matter what he does this year, but the controversy begins if he can win these next 2 games.
So we'll see. By the way, most important player in these final 2 games not named Emmett Johnson or TJ Lateef. I'm asking you the questions. It's hard to even. I wrote down Hunter. I wrote down Lindenmeyer because I sometimes think for a young quarterback, play action and bootlegs usually mean tight end. Is it an offensive line? Is it Justin Evans? Is it maybe one of the guys we continue to disrespect in the secondary? Isn't it kind of weird
that guy though, Nick?
Who? It's crazy that it's hard to even pick a guy.
I couldn't pick a guy without it being just a shot in the dark, like a shot in the dark of how to answer.
Where you go? Question. I don't know.
The answer is I don't know.
I think so too, and I don't. And that's a very odd. I don't know what that means. I wanted to ask it because I wanted to just basically like have us both say out loud, like I don't know who you would even put.
For instance, like Penn State has what's the pass rusher's name?
Starts with a D.
He's like 6'5".
Yeah,
like
he's a great player. Yeah. He's going to be in the NFL. I mean, yeah.
Let me see. Penn State, the end. Danny Dennis Sutton. So this guy's like, he's one of those future pros that he changes games. He's one of the sack leaders in college football right now. And if we have a guy like that, you point to that, right? You point to a guy that changes a game, and if he is playing at a high level, the game is different.
Yes.
I just don't think we have a guy like that.
I don't either.
I think a guy like Winery in the future, maybe he slips into that realm, but he's not there right now. Not at all. And nobody else on the team seems to be to me.
No. And then even offensively, you don't really feel like it's hard to be like, it's Hunter. Well, okay, yeah. But like if Hunter doesn't play well, that doesn't necessarily mean
he can go quiet and we're the same team.
Or Barney or Key or Lindenmeyer or whoever. Like, and it's just it's an odd thing to kind of point out. That's all I wanted to do with that question.
Because we got a lot of B players where it's only the A's and the A pluses that change the games. And we got like Emmett as an A and everybody else is like a B kind of guy.
Right.
B's and C's, and that's fine. You can pass class with B and C.
Boy, don't you? You got to tell you, boy.
You can get a college degree with a B and C, Nick. Don't let anybody put you down for that, all right?
Oh, next question. Emmett Johnson, go to the NFL or come back for his senior year?
I think he should come back.
Hold on. Okay, so I would think he could get $1 million, maybe even more, to come back and play at Nebraska. But if you look at like a 4th round pick, I'd be curious. I don't know what kind of grade he would get. I also think sometimes there's an element of striking when you're I've always felt like sometimes the secret to hitting the draft is hitting the peak of potential.
Yeah.
And the peak of people filling in the gaps of like the best case scenario.
Yeah. So true.
And I think right now he is at that, like if he comes back next year, he is immediately put into people are going to view him through a lens that is completely different. They're almost going to be searching for reasons why not than why. Whereas I bet everybody that sat down at the Rose Bowl to watch him were kind of like, ooh, like almost wanting him to do well as a scout. Cause you're like, this guy's kind of like a riser. Let's see what he does. And so, but if you're a 4th round pick, Cam Scatterbo with the Giants, 5 years, $5.27 million contract, basically $1 million a year.
How much is it guaranteed?
It was a good question. It was like $1 million. It was $1 million signing bonus.
Yeah. So that'd be probably $1 million to $2 million guaranteed would be my guess.
So I don't know. I mean, Guaranteed money of $1 million.
Let me tell you something. If you can go in the first 4 rounds as a running back, and you're not going to be like a first round pick, I think you go.
If you're a 6th or 7th rounder, you come back.
Yeah.
Because there's a world where a 6th or 7th rounder, like, I mean, you may not make the team. You may not make the 53.
I was in that. I was a 6th round guy, 6th, 7th free agent. I mean, 6th and 7th round pick, 5th, 6th, 7th are a little different than just a free agent. You get like a little bit more investment from the team, but it's not much. The difference between a 5th, 6th, and 7th and a free agent, it's not much when you're in training camp. It's kind of like, who cares? So you get a little bit more attention, a little bit more like, investment from the club, but something changes in that 4th round. They give you a significantly more upfront as a 4th rounder. In 3rd, 2nd, and 1st rounders, obviously, you're guaranteed to make the team unless you're catastrophically mess it up.
Right.
You got to be catastrophically bad, but they're paying you enough. You've made the team.
Right.
And I can't stress that enough. If you get in the first 3, maybe 4 rounds, you've basically made the team. Yep. So if Emmett can get in the first 4 rounds, I'd advise him to go. Now, when I say should he come back, I say, of course, because I want him to come back.
Right.
But if he's going to be a 6th, 7th, 8th round or free agent, I say you could maybe raise your stock.
Yeah.
Come back, make more money. I mean, make the guaranteed money of, come to Nebraska.
Well, $1 million or $2 million or something like that, whatever it is, like that is for sure. And so it makes sense. But if you're 4th round pick, you get closer, you start the clock on the NFL pension.
Yeah.
You maybe save a year of wear and tear on your body. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. This is so
Emmett was Nick. This is where the whole Emmett thing. It's like, I don't want to doubt him as much as I've already doubted him. So
neither do I. So for me, I'm like, this whole conversation still feels a little awkward to me because I'm like, the idea that we ever were going to be having this conversation just is crazy.
Even a few weeks ago, I wasn't ready to talk Emmett to the NFL. So a part of me doesn't want to doubt him, but a part of me wants to be like, what do NFL scouts think of him? Because it took me a long time to be like, God, this guy's good.
So that's what I don't know. I'll be real curious how the NFL grades him.
Yeah, because he's a really good football player, and that's what I've always been on how good he is at football. I always didn't think he had the physical next level skills, and it's maybe proving to be that he does.
I know. I mean, he is every single week. It's remarkable how much better he's getting.
He's getting better. Yeah.
So I don't know what. It's just bizarre to think about.
Yeah, if he plays great the next 2 games, I think he reached domination level against UCLA. It felt like he was dominating again.
Yes.
If he continues that, that's probably a sign
against 2 much better defenses too.
Yeah, that's a sign that he's probably ready to make the jump. If he gets shut down and falls off a cliff, everything slows on the hype train. Then maybe he's like, you're a free agent, borderline guy.
Right.
You don't go then. You come back, you take the monny, you make your Heisman
and you
run.
see if you make a Heisman run and improve your stock.
Dang right.
And make $1 million or $2 million. So this is still so, because even when he played well against Maryland, it was kind of like, look at this guy.
Yeah.
How about Emmett Johnson? It wasn't like it's just, I've not yet viewed him in that way. He's almost like, the movies where like the nerd in the classroom girl has glasses and then she finally takes her glasses off and the ponytail and she's like, oh man, I didn't know you were the hottest girl in the school.
This girl's a supermodel, but she's got a ponytail. Oh, look at those glasses.
Glasses, ponytail. And she's like a nerd in science class.
What's that terrible? It was like the Not Another Teen movie or something. And the girl is like smoking hot, but she has these.
But I kind of feel like Emmett Johnson.
Glasses.
Emmett Johnson is the 80s or 90s coming of age movie. The dorky girl in high school.
What a dork.
That actually she took off her glasses and then you're like, she was the hottest girl in the school.
She's like the hottest girl in the world. And you're like,
well, that's where all of a sudden Emmett took off his glasses, let his hair down, and all of a sudden everybody's like,
oh, baby.
Okay.
We never knew.
I didn't know. I should ask you to prom, Emmett.
Shouldn't have been such a jerk all those years.
I mean, that's what it is, though. Out of nowhere, the guy, Emmett let his hair down, and it's like, whoa, mama. Wow.
Got contact lenses.
Wow. You put on lipstick, and I'm, wow. Okay, Penn State game. Don't laugh anymore. I think it's the best way. I think it's the best way Emma's ever been described. I mean, I want to hear Mel Kiper like break it down like that. Emmett Johnson, kind of like a 90s coming of age. Emmett Johnson finally took his glasses off, let his hair down, looked really good with football. Everybody said, "Oh my God, didn't really." Okay, Penn State. I don't know what it is. I maybe woke up on the wrong side of the bed on Monday for game week. I am worried about this game.
I watched, I think, the first half of the Penn State game this week, and
Michigan State. Yeah,
I mean, they were throwing deep balls, and they looked like, well, you can see the talent.
Yeah, it's. I don't even know where to begin. Let's the talent wise, like, yes, they lost whatever it was 6 in a row, but how would have Nebraska done in that stretch? Like, yeah, they're the bad. They lost at UCLA.
Yeah,
and they lost to Northwestern. Nebraska almost lost to Northwestern. And I mean, there was a world where that UCLA game could have, I mean, close, yeah. it got a little dicey at times. But I mean, Penn State played the 3 best teams in the Big Ten and on the road at Iowa.
Yeah.
Oregon lost in overtime.
Yeah.
Ohio State got.
In that Oregon game, if it goes a different way, I think their whole season
couldn't
changes.
Agree more.
The season's different. The quarterback, you keep the quarterback from getting hurt.
And then all this stuff doesn't heat up with Franklin. Like, it just felt like that loss derailed everything.
That win keeps Franklin. He keeps his job. And you know how it is. Like, if that win goes differently, it just feels like you don't lose engagement from people.
They got beat pretty good by Ohio State, 38-14. But then Indiana, who is, I mean, in some ways you're like, is Indiana the best team in America? Like, I
still don't
defies all logic.
I don't get it.
But played them tough, took a last minute, unbelievable 2-minute drive from Mendoza. And then the college football play of the year with Omar Cooper's catch in the back of the end zone for Indiana to beat Penn State. Yeah. Okay. And then lost 25-24 at Iowa. They led 24-19 late, and Iowa scores late to win the game. So I also think we've become professionals at getting inside the losing streaks at Nebraska. We've been like forensic. We know how to like dissect Nick, and do autopsies.
We got a PhD.
We are incredible.
In losing.
Like, what's your losing streak? 6.
We got look at files on that. We've got plenty of files.
I see a 1-point loss at Iowa. You realize you can actually use that as a feather in your cap? You didn't know that? I see an overtime loss to a top 10 team. Pretty good, if you ask me. I think that
that loss wasn't as bad as you think it was. If you look through the metrics, it's one of the better losses of all of your losses. When we look at all of the stats put together.
Now, have you ever played the if game? Oh, you're not familiar.
The if game.
So it goes a little something like this. You just handpick a couple of plays and say, maybe if that play didn't happen, we'd have won the game. You'd be shocked.
We definitely would have won that game.
Think off the top of your head right now. I'm sure there's 2 to 3 plays in that Oregon game. That doesn't happen. You win. Am I right?
Have you heard of Adrian Martinez? I want to tell you a few stories about him and how close it came.
We have become. You slide us any losing streak, and we know how to we know how to doctor it up.
We know that they are
good.
Dangerous. They are so dangerous to us. For us, that's a dangerous team.
The other thing, the road here in Nebraska's games away from Memorial Stadium. Arrowhead, home game pretty much.
Yep.
At Maryland. Come on. You go play Millard North at Millard North, it might be a little more hectic in that mother trucker.
They bring some fans.
No, bring the thunder.
Not Maryland though.
Minnesota, real environment. What happened?
Yeah.
Dismantled. UCLA. Again, you could go probably
half red.
It was half red. Penn State, Saturday night. It's going to be 100,000 Penn State fans in there. Okay?
Yeah.
There might be a little sliver of Nebraska fans at the shittiest seats in the whole stadium. I worry. I'm just worried. I'm worried, like the road element, it's a freshman quarterback, the talent level on this Penn State roster, as you've said it numerous times, like this was still like at one point a top 10 team. Like you don't become a top 10 team if you don't have some dudes out there.
Preseason number 2, maybe?
Yeah, it's not completely the same team, but this was a team that lost in the college football playoff semifinal game a year ago.
Yeah.
So, and then because the other thing I thought after they lost to Northwestern and Franklin got fired, I thought it would be Rocky's trainer that was yelling, "Throw in the damn towel."
Yeah.
I thought that pretty much what it needed. Throw in the damn towel. I thought they would totally just give up. They lose UCLA, lose to Northwestern, fire Franklin, thought they would have fallen apart. They haven't, even though they've lost games, they've still been competitive in a lot of these games, playing a tough schedule. And now by beating Michigan State, that gets them to their 4th win. So there's a little bit of, they're incentivized here where you are 2 wins away from going to a bowl. You play Nebraska and you play Rutgers, 2 games on paper that I think Penn State probably looks at and is like, we could go to a bowl game here. Yeah. So there's also that of like, this isn't a team that is just kind of like a dead man walking, like they're not playing for anything.
Yeah.
They're playing for something here. The spread also was like, whew, it opened 10.5. It's down to 9.5. You initially see that, go, wow, that seems high, but then you kind of do it all that we just did, and you're like, hey, that's the number. Help me out, man. I have woke up.
9? It's 9.5?
9. Penn State is favored by 9.5. Yeah. Okay. So right? I got that. I was a little like, whoa. For a team that is 4-6, taking on a 7-3 team.
How many times in history has that happened in college football?
9.5, and the total is 44.5. And it opened at 10.5.
Wow.
Right? I know. I think, you know what I think it was? I think I woke up, I saw the spread, and I went, whoa.
Vegas isn't dumb.
And then you start thinking about, well, what's the deal? And you start going through the road thing, the freshman quarterback thing.
But there's,
wow, you are rendered. The court would like to a refifth.
You need a refifth. We need a refifth. Give me a refifth, court.
I need a refifth. Your Honor, I need a refifth to assess the spread in the Penn State game. Refifth granted. We'll
I need some surprise witnesses coming up. I'm sorry. Tom Chattel's gonna speak during the break. What the heck? But Nick, what do you even say about it? Like
10. I know. I am.
It's so blatant that they think this isn't even going to be close. For a losing team,
say it out loud. If you said there's a Big Ten team that's 7-3, and a team that's 4-6 that had lost.
Yes, but if this is the same Penn State team to start the year, I'd expect 10.5 probably. Oh, that's like okay, 10.5. We've won 7. They've won. They're still in the top 10. They've won 10 games or whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's 10 points. They're at home, but they've lost all year long. So like I'd expect a point or 2 or 3 at home. I think that's fair. 10 at home.
Lost 6 in a row.
In a row.
Here are their wins. If you want to now argue against them, they beat Nevada, Florida International, Villanova, and Michigan State. Those are the only 4 football teams they have beat.
That's my problem with this. Is like I'm actually not bothered that we're not favorites.
I didn't think
against Penn State.
Right, but
10.5 points when you've won one Big Ten game this year.
Yes,
you're one in. Let's see, you're
1 in 6.
1 in 6 in.
You're 1 in 6 in the Big Ten.
In what world does that happen? Versus a team that's a higher ranked than you are. In what world does that happen?
I know, but yes, you're initially I was jarred by it. Like then it's made me, after I stopped scratching my head, I've gotten scared.
I think that's the right answer.
Because you go, what's
I think they take a look at that pass rusher on the edge and they say they can't block him.
And I think you also go, how have they, away from home, have they played anywhere tough? That one, Bill, pull in the file. They played who on the road in a real road game? Minnesota. And how'd that game go? Oh, they got killed.
Yeah.
And who do they have at quarterback? Oh, he's a freshman.
But he can scramble.
Oh, he can scramble. Okay. The court would like to re-theft to a theft. We need to re-theft to a theft the spread in the Penn State game. Tom Stittel and Steve Thipple will now pontificate on who.
We bring in Stittel and Thipple, please. Little entertainment for the court.
Why was that? Like the court needs entertainment during recess.
They need it. Oh, man. Well, I feel like we don't know anything this week. Oh, man.
Okay.
What have we learned this week? Nothing. Nothing.
Okay. I am concerned.
I think it's fair.
I don't know what to. Penn State's going to try to run the ball a lot. Like here, they ran it 50 times against Michigan State.
Yep.
33 against Indiana, 31 against Ohio State, 46 against Iowa. Like they're going to run the ball 35 to 45 times in this game. Mm-hmm. So is Nebraska. So it's probably going to be a game that goes fast.
Yeah.
There's probably not going to be a ton of possessions. Mistakes are magnified. Special teams probably important as well. I'm going to pick Penn State to win the game. This one is really hard to size up, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Penn State team shows up is,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I feel like this whole podcast has been like us being like, I don't know what the heck that,
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
But it feels like,
welcome into the podcast. What do you want from me? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
But I think we'll be able to speak. Why are you listening to this podcast?
What do you want from me?
What do you want from me?
Insight?
Thoughts? Analysis?
Perspective?
Nah. But seriously, like what the heck are we? I don't know.
Well, I think it's hard. It's a hard thing to assess right now.
Right there.
No, what we provided to you is Emmett Johnson is a girl in a rom-com that took her glasses off, her ponytail out, and is the most beautiful girl in the school.
I think that's.
How about that?
If you got that, you got all you need to know.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
This court need the retest. Do
Let's take a retest.
Chantel is simple. Come on in.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.